Okay, this is going to be my review of Fusion versus Mayhem in the May Melee. I've got Christopher from the Fusion in Twitch chat. So I'll be giving my thoughts on this match and hopefully not saying anything that goes against what his team is actually prepping. So Mayhem was the higher seed here. Oh, I was going to circle it, but it only shows that in the VOD, not in the replay, which makes sense. They were the higher seed in this situation. I am not surprised at all that they picked Busan. Busan is definitely their favorite Koth. They love playing this map. And it really favors their style a lot, I think. They like playing Double Shield. Busan is definitely the Koth map that you can play Double Shield on the most, in my opinion. I think easily. I feel like Double Shield is not really good on the other Koth maps at all, but this map lets them play their style really, really heavily, so I think it's a very smart pick from them. Philly definitely is a team that, from my knowledge heading into this and speaking with Chris, was a team that preferred to play either Rhine comps or Monkey comps, either rush or dive, and they were avoiding the Double Shield and were not taking that mirror match. So I think that in this map, that plays to Mayhem's favor. Obviously, that changes map to map. But let's see how this goes. We see Mayhem start out with the McCree comp and the Bap Brig. So just really quick, just a quick premise on how Mayhem's comp works. BQB will play several different hit scans in this composition. He will not always play McCree. He'll play McCree. He'll play Ash. I think he plays Widow. I don't know if he plays it in the set, but he plays... I think he even plays Soldier on like Sanctuary. I think the Soldier sucks, honestly. But regardless, the idea is that they play the Double Shields, which is a kind of a space-holding, very tanky composition frontline, right? That doesn't want to play aggressively necessarily. They just want to hold space. They have the BAP for lots of sustain. They have the Brig... And the Brig is a very, very important part of this composition. You'll notice any time that they don't play Brig, and they play Bap Zen, like they do it on Junkertown, for example, where Bap Zen is just super, super good, they don't play the Tracer. They don't play the Tracer when they don't have the Brig, okay? And that's super important. So the Brig allows them to be brawly, okay, and to not have to worry about really their Bap dying to a dive in most situations. But the most important thing is they just give all their Brig armor to the Tracer. As much as humanly possible goes to the Tracer. And because BAP can help these people sustain all the time, they just give the Brig armor to the Tracer. And Mayhem has been playing like this same idea around Brig all season. Even when it was Rhine May comps, they would skip the Lucio and they would play Brig instead. And they would have their McCree flank all the time and give him the Brig armor so no one could fight him. So the enemy McCree can't fight him. You have like 50... At the time, I think it was still 75 extra HP. And the 275 HP McCree was just a god on the flank and would just fight your McCree. And it didn't always work against teams that played really fast and really aggressive. They would still lose. But that's been... This is like a thing that they've been doing all the time, like all season. They've really liked this general idea of using Brig to do this. And in this meta, they do it with Tracer. And I think it's really, really good in the Double Shield meta to have a strong Tracer because she can flank all the time. She can fight DPS all the time. She's very annoying. Hit scan plus Tracer is very scary for anyone that wants to play open space. Anyone that wants to play wide space and doesn't want to just deathball, if they get dinked at all by a McCree, they're just going to get killed by, or an Ashe or anything, they're just going to get killed by Tracer, especially a Tracer with armor that gets to play very aggressive and not ever really have to be afraid. So we also play Tracer a lot when we play Double Shield in the mirror. It's very, very good. It's not always good into like a tanky comp like this. Like a lot of times Echo is better at killing this composition. But if you just give Yaki armor and space to work, sometimes he'll just make it work anyways. Fusion, on the other hand, do you guys TP out of spawn? let's see. Yaki TP's here, which is standard. It'd be really odd. I don't think Fusion's going to TP. That's really weird, bro. Carpe should be on Sim right here and should be TPing the team out, I think. But they end up taking more than enough space anyways, right? It doesn't end up punishing them that much. But the goal for their comp is they want to push up and take as much space as possible and just kind of run into you with their Rhine and their Mei. And then their Widow can just always play off angles, right? And Chris, in this situation, you'd already seen Mayhem play at this point, right? Or had they not played yet? Were you their first match? No, because you were a top 4 seed, so this couldn't be a first match. You've definitely already seen them play. So did you guys expect them to play Rhine here and push up and meet you guys? Or did you expect that? Okay, you did not expect the Rhine. Okay. Because in my mind, do you like the Widow into the double shield here? And you want to force the rotation into the Widow LOS. Because in my mind, I like the Widow here because when Rhines are fighting right here, the Widow has great crossfire. Okay, but you just want to get them earlier. You want to catch them even earlier with the Widow. Okay, because what I'm thinking is once they get where they are now on the bridge, your Widow is not going to have super good LOS. Like, this is definitely where Mayhem wants to take this fight, in my opinion, right? This is where the Widow is going to get the least value. And they're just doing a really good job of, avoiding the Widow LOS. I feel like she has a really hard time helping when the fight happens right there. Whoa, that was super weird. Was that like, did you get pull rocked or was that just a weird replay thing? I don't know. All right, but let's back it up really quick. And let's see what happens with the main group. I really like Widow. Yeah, I think Widow is really good, but I think, I don't know, it feels weird where the fight ends up playing out for you guys, I think. So we get a couple decent looks for the Widow. We're just hard Wing with the Rhine. Just really trying to go fast. Good wall to isolate. Definitely want to try and kill the Brig here, but bash away from Chris. Fate's just getting hard pocketed. And Fate barely lives here, actually. It's so close. But Sato actually ends up dying. That's insanely close. But yeah, in my mind, this is like the worst place for you guys to fight, right? Like, the Widow can't see anyone that's over here, which is all the important targets. Like, I guess if you get a headshot on Orisa, you can still win the fight off that, but it's still kind of hard. And I know in general, when you're playing the Rhine comp, you always just want to rotate into the double shield. But I feel like you could even just, like, start rotating here and, like, just let them kind of rotate away a little bit and let your Widow reposition. Because this is not where you want to fight. Like, just let your Widow play up here or something, right? And while they cross, and then you can, as soon as they have to drop off the bridge or go off the bridge, it's a much easier fight. I feel like this is just the only spot you don't want to take the fight. They do a super good job stopping his chances. If they didn't see him first fight, I think he gets a real good chance to kill. Once we force them left, our Widow can take high ground and could probably chill a bit if we didn't get a pick. Yeah. I mean, they just do, a very good job of mitigating the sight lines and how many chances you guys get. And yeah, he does get a really weird pull rock there. Really aggressive Cole here. I like that to try and clutch and turn it, especially with so close to flipping the point, but doesn't end up working out. Carpe swaps Tracer. Yeah, I feel like Is there a reason that you prefer... Yeah, Tracer's fucking trash here. Yeah, I agree. I feel like McCree is way better. Just go McCree Anna here, in my opinion, if you want to play Ryan comp. I think that the Tracer is like, you're never going to kill this backline. You're never going to kill the McCree. And the enemy Tracer has armor packs to duel you all the time, right? So I feel like this is a throw pick, honestly. If you want to keep the Moira, you can go Reaper. But I feel like Reaper's not that great against this comp either. They have Brig. They have McCree. Like, the Tracer can just shoot you all the time and force shift. I feel like the Reaper's not that good either. I would much rather just play McCree and Anna and play to get a wall and then get kills on the wall a little more consistently and have some good ults. Like, Nano Ryan is really good against this comp, I think. But yeah, early Flux. No ultimates to help sustain through the Flux. That's going to be a quick pick onto Sado while this is happening. Presumably, Carpe is just not really doing anything on Tracer. This time he decides he wants to push with the team, maybe? Yeah, he's going with the team. Let's see if he can find any value. Just poking a little bit. Yaki's looking at him, but it doesn't really matter. Early Bongo, but the Bongo just gets run over. Fusion just dropped both support ults to play super fast. That's a great reaction to Bongo, in my opinion. Carpe's still not really getting any value, though. Yaki almost clutches with a stick onto Alarm, but good dodge. The Blizzard comes out. That should mean BQB dies here. Gangnam Jin, hopefully shortly after. Yeah, so the double support ult plus the Blizzard is definitely enough to win it. I want to see, does Carpe at least force the drone? That's my question. Because if Carpe forces drone, the Tracer was fine. But no, it is not Carpe that forces the drone. So Carpe does nothing. I don't think the Tracer is very good here. There's two win conditions with this comp. A, get their backline with speed, or Widow pick Reaper and kill tanks. Yeah. And I think for retake, the Widow pick is going to be super hard against the Tracer, right? The Tracer makes the Widow retake so fucking hard. So I feel like playing aggro Reaper is fine, but I think this comp is pretty solid against Reaper as well. Because of the Brig, because of the McCree, and because of the Tracer. I think it's not bad at all. So let's see. So this is a situation where, okay, I want Yaki to flank, but I want Yaki to touch point. Instead, we do not have point pressure. And the problem is, like, when you have to come through a choke, this comp is just so much better, obviously, right? Even with the Tracer, this comp is so much better. So what I would love to see is for the team to get ready to push top, but to play, like, safe in top, where they can't get walled, and just give Yaki armor, because you can see through this whole thing, right? As Brig, you can play with the team, but still see the Tracer right here. And you just give her armor and let her come touch point while the team is waiting there. If Carpe tries to match, Yaki should win that because he has an armor pack and Carpe doesn't. And even if it's just like a wash, it's a lot easier to push in as this comp when there's no DPS there and they just have like Maywall only to get kills. Because there's no purple, there's no Ana like purple here, there's no like big DPS character. Like your damage is all going to come from your Rhine, right? And I feel like that's a favorable way to play things for Florida. But instead, they try just pushing up. They use Square, and that is clearly placed in the wrong spot. That's a huge mistake from Gangnam Jin. And just a really fast, aggressive wall bomb play. This should be an easy dub for Philly for this fight. This matchup snowballs really hard either way. Retaking for either team is almost impossible. Yeah, I think the retake is difficult, but I really think pressuring point makes things a lot easier for Mayhem if they do it. While the rest of their team plays top, right? It splits the team a lot. We actually have a cheeky play we do with retakes with Tracer Orisa comps on this point, but I'm not going to say what it is. But I think it's actually really hard to deal with. I think they have a couple good retake plays that they haven't done yet. So this time, they push out early. They trade Drone for Wall and Coalescence, but Yaki dies on the flank. So this should just be a quick wait for the Tracer. That means that the Wall is definitely going to be back up. They should wait for their Drone. It's 10 more seconds. Rotating to low ground. I like this aggressive positioning from Fusion. Oh, fuck. How does that happen? What does Yaki do to make this happen? Oh, he didn't even stick the May. The May just died because of the stick. That's why he didn't use shift. Okay, that makes sense. So that's Pull Pulse just being absolutely insane. How much DM? Poco using DM as they run away, and then they get the... Yo! It looked like his DM was still up. But Pull Pulse is one of the huge benefits of this comp. Pull Pulse is really fucking good. Oh no, his DM's down. Yeah. Yep, D.Va gets stuck. It kills Ivy. The wall goes up, but it doesn't matter. Poco's also super low from the stick. Rally's running. Chris is getting the fucking there. Oh my god, he gets the D-Mech as well. Sato wants to make a hero play. Good beat from Astro. The flip hasn't even happened yet. Carpe goes down though. There's a flux in here. You hate to see it. That's all that Pull Pulse. That's literally 100% the Pull Pulse. And that's one of the big strengths of this comp. It's usually not that good against rush comps. Because of D.Va and because people are so tanky, but it's really good in the double shield mirror because it's a very easy way to force drone safely at the beginning of a fight, and then after you pull pulse to force drone, you use a second pull to like get all the kills and win the fight. But ends up working really well here into rush. We're super greedy to farm beat and end up throwing, peeking in there aggressively to do damage, take damage, farm a little bit. I think if we chill, gonna win this map pretty easy, but we don't really want to take Tracer 1v1s, so maybe not a big deal. So yeah, I think that was definitely greedy farming, but it was a very small window they had to punish with the pull pulse, and they hit it, so it's just kind of unfortunate. On rollout here, so this is weird. They actually do have the Zen, but they also play Tracer, but this doesn't count because they also play Soldier, and they probably use Soldier to keep their backline safe or whatever, but I think this comp kind of sucks. I'm going to be honest. This is kind of a bad comp. The Tracer can't get armor packs, and the Soldier is just a bad hero. This comp, I like the Widow on this point a lot. I would like Tracer more than Ashe, but I don't think it's bad. I would also like Echo here over Ashe. I think double hit scan might be a little awkward here. But let's see. Yaki immediately taking wide space, playing to harass. Carpe instantly gets a pick. That's absolutely huge. Obviously, killing the Zen matters so much. Yaki looking for flanks, is on Carpe already. Not going to get this kill. Soldier also flanking. I don't know what Florida's doing. Sato gets super low, but he's not going to die. Recall already forced out. Alarm just taking the duel with Yaki. Gets some pocket. BQB somehow dies. This comp is just so weird for Mayhem. They just can't stand and fight you, right? But flanking is scary because there's a Widow to kill them if they flank. So That's really weird. Oh, watch alarm POV? Okay. Let's watch alarm POV. He's getting his right clicks. Yeah. You hate to see it, but that's one of those situations where the Tracer Zen 1v1, if the Tracer has all her resources and the Zen didn't have any help, like, maybe the Tracer can win, but that's just never going to happen. The Zen's always going to have help, and in this comp, the Tracer is not going to get that many resources from Mayhem. So they decide to go to their own Widowmaker here, which I think is good. I think playing against a Widow in this map, like, almost makes you feel like you have to play your own Widow, which is why I really like picking it. Puts a lot of pressure. Here we have the pull pulse come out. Oh no, it's like a bait on the pull pulse. He doesn't actually do it. That's so... Is that like an intentional bait to bait the drone? We try that, but people don't, like, bite. The BAPs aren't, like, droning before the pulse happens. So yeah, he blinks in and baits the drone and then sticks after. That's so big brain. Alarm also dies to a random pick, but really it's the pull forcing drone and then the pulse after. That shit's insane. Really, really good play, and that's just the value that Tracer gives in this composition. That's literally just the Tracer alone winning it. Like, Chris used Square, but it doesn't really matter. It's literally the Tracer there that wins it. So let's see. Let's watch Alarm POV here. So Fusion wants to retake in main. Usually teams will push into the temple side, like the opposite of drum. So the right side right now for Fusion would be like temple over there. Alarm barely living through this harass from Yaki. Good peel. And then this side being temple side. This is where teams in these long range compositions, this is where you like to retake, right? You don't want to retake in here. It's like a small little area. And rotating to point from here is much safer than rotating to point from here. Once you like start winning and you need a tank to cross the big wasteland and go touch. So this is a standard angle for retake. The question is, how are they going to spread out and get value from their multiple hit scan? Because you want to have them taking different angles, right? Where's Carpe? Oh, amazing. So Carpe is just playing literally in the middle of the team. Ivy's playing in the middle of the team. So not getting a ton of double hit scan value here. The pull flux comes out. That's going to force the drone. Yaki trying to follow up on it. Astro is actually the one to go down while drone is still alive. That's super weird. So let's see if we can find out why he dies while the drone is alive. They get fluxed. He throws drone down. What? I couldn't tell at all from that what happened. So, drone is alive. He's in it. He's in the drone. He gets pulled. Oh, they don't pull flux. Ah, they just naked flux and then pull out of the drone after. Interesting. So Alarm commits the trance to try and turn it. The Bob also thrown in from Ivy. But it just forces the trance to match, and the fight is going to end here. Oh my god, Alarm starts popping off. Let's watch Alarm coming out of this trance. Instantly charging right click. Gets pulled, and then uses that as an opportunity to kill one DPS. Then kills the other DPS. He and Carpe trying to pop off here. Ivy comes back on Tracer. I like this swap. Even though Ivy isn't a Tracer ace like Yaki, his Tracer's not bad. I mean, it's It's not great, but I think it helps the matchup a lot when the Tracer just has someone to worry about. Okay. Now again, they're pushing in. Both teams are not at full strength. Alarm. Oh no. He doesn't get away from the pull in time. Where's Astro? He sees this pull too, right? No, he doesn't. He's too far. That sucks. There's no way he could drone that. He ends up droning the pulse, but the Zen's dead. That's GG. That really sucks. The best player in Owl, just no one realizes it yet? You think so? Best player in Overwatch League, bro. In the whole league, any position, you think Alarm is the best player? Okay, so Bongo on point. This makes it really hard for Philly to cross the space. They have their own Bongo and Square for a lot of damage pressure, so it means Mayhem has to be careful on LOS. But Philly's the one under pressure that has the touch point. Carpe gets an early pick, which helps a lot, but it's still so hard for them to safely push on point, right? Both tanks are getting pounded. Poco's barely keeping alive. Weird rotation. Carpe just hard carries. Holy shit. Weird rotation from Fate, though. I mean, I guess he's scared of the Carpe flank or something? So he, like, rotates into Temple? He puts his shield down and he runs away? I don't know. That's really weird. I feel like he could have just backed up and stayed near point. But he ends up just kind of out of the fight, not doing anything. So let's see what Carpe's sneaky angle he uses to find BQB here. He gets really deep and no one knows. And yeah, BQB just doesn't even know he's there. He keeps flanking. He knows the Tracer's going to come for him, so he's just fighting, fighting, fighting. He's getting some help. I can't even tell how he killed Yaki there. That's crazy. What the fuck? So one pick. Tracer's on him. Misses the first shot. SMG, SMG. Wow. This guy's pretty good too, though. Yeah, Carpe's pretty crazy. That's a nut shot too. That's just an individual carry performance for retake. That's the kind of things that Carpe can do for you. Holy shit. Alright, so stuck on a little bit of a suboptimal comp with Poco on Diva, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Against the Flux, it is going to be hard, though. Early pull. Again, the standard retake pathing. Carpe just kills Yaki. Not worried about the Tracer at all. That's why they need to give this Brig armor to Yaki so he can take these fights. The pull pulse comes out. It does break the drone. Oh my god, they still use their Flux. Oh, it's last fight. Holy shit. They're so close to their ults, too. Okay, Yaki dying that early is actually a giant throw. It's going to be last fight, and they're close to a lot of ults. They need to just slow play until they get their support ults, right? They use the fucking Widowmaker walls. He knows where everyone is. Why is he dying, dude? What's happening here? Oh, he takes a bad fight with Ivy. Why does he take that? That's a throw. That's a throw. And then really good aggressive plays from Fusion as the follow-up. The pull pulse gets huge value. Even though Ivy is not a superstar Tracer, pull pulse is not hard. Very consistent, very easy. Okay, so we come into this map, and we're in downtown. Fusion playing Rush again. Mayhem playing the double shield with the Bat Brig. This is kind of their bread and butter comp. I feel like you can play Widow on this map. Going Widow high ground is super good. So we ironically beat them on mirror without any scrim time on it. Yeah, when you played the double shield, you beat them there because it just lets Carpe and Alarm both hard pop, right? But that's because that's a map where Zen is good, right? Usually it's going to be Bat Brig like this. And then you don't have the Alarm hard carry potential. I don't know. I feel like if you guys played Hisu Carpe and just mirrored them and had Hisu play Hitscan and Carpe play Tracer, it's actually a very easy win. You don't even have to scrim on the comp. Like, I think you guys are just better if you just play Hisu Carpe. I think the problem, and this is the Mayhem problem in general, the matchup problem that they give you, is their flex DPS is their Tracer God, right? So that means that they can play Hitscan and Tracer at the same time in these comps, which I think is the best lineup in these comps. So it's like, it's the same reason that we feel comfortable playing the comp, is we have Linkser playing Hitscan, and then our flex DPS Dante is the one that's our Tracer ace. So that's why we can play this comp. And I feel like this comp forces you to, if you want to play any version of Double Shield, like this beats every other version of Double Shield, except sometimes you play Widow instead. But like this beats every other Orisa Sigma comp, in my opinion. And Rhine is just situationally good on most maps. And then against Dive, I actually feel like in most maps, even the Zen Dive has a hard time against this composition because the Super Tracer just makes things so hard for your tanks. So the Super Tracer makes it so hard to feel like your tanks always have enough HP and can always push in, because these tanks can always play super close and aggressive and like take your space away, and it's so hard to dive backline. So I feel like if you want to play dive into this comp, you should actually play the Asia comp, the one that can win off of just ultimates, right? The Echo Sombra with Ana, and you just play to hard cycle ultimates and win off having really, really good ults, because everything else about this comp is better. But yeah, that's how I feel like the Tracer ends up playing out, and why Florida can like force you to beat it. I haven't watched the finals. Shock is in like the same position as you guys, I think, where you your flex DPS can't really play Tracer to match Yaki. So I guess, I know Rascal played Torb at least in part of the match. I'm not sure if Torb should actually be better, but I'll take a look at that set later. Red Draconum, thank you for the follow. I appreciate the support. Okay. So obviously the Rhine comp just wants to push in, take as much space as possible, like whatever, no problem. Mayhem expects that, so they don't want to walk out where they can die to a wall. They just all go top, no problem at all. Totally standard here. Yaki playing really aggressive with his armor packs. The second we see them in window, we have to go point, I think, but we don't. Yeah, 100%. You can't just play open space. Oh, I still have this up. And, oh, this is the other thing that Mayhem is really good at doing with this comp, is they make it to where, like, usually when you're playing a dive or a rush comp into Double Shield, especially when they have Brig Bap, like, you're probably not killing backline unless they make a massive, massive mistake, right? So you want to kill the Sigma. The Sigma is the easiest target to kill in the majority of situations. He's way easier to kill than the Orisa, right? Mayhem does such a good job of making it to where Fate is literally the only person you can shoot. They make it to where Fate is the only target that you can go on. And it makes it so much harder to deal with than when other people play this comp. And they do that here, obviously. They just play slow. They spam, spam, spam. They force out some cooldowns. They get a little HP. And then they make it to where Fate is the only target you can run on. They're like, if you want to kill any of us, you have to kill Fate first. Gargoyle's playing back. Like, I almost feel like the play here is to try and get a better wall and run past Fate onto Gargoyle. I actually feel like that's a better play than trying to kill Fate right here with everyone on their team just shooting you and it taking a goddamn year to kill him. That's what you try? But Gargoyle just gets on top of the wall, so it doesn't matter, and you guys end up having to look at Fate. And he's just never going to die in this situation. Yeah. I think going point here is the better play than playing in the open. But even going point is like a little awkward and kind of hard, right? It's not the best. Wait, does Carpe roll out on Tracer? Wait, this is just unwinnable. Never mind. You're on Tracer. It doesn't matter. You can't win this. You're not going to kill the Sigma anyways. With Tracer damage. He's just not going to die. Yeah, and he's like looking at the back line, like shooting the brig. It's a 5v6. He actually gets Chris kind of low. It's not that bad. But yeah, the tanks aren't going to die against this comp, against these supports. Like, the Tracer isn't going to get a kill. At least not until Pulse. Ivy dies super late. Oh, but he kills Gangnam Jin. It's actually mad worth it. That's crazy. If you guys are new to Twitch and looking for a stream to watch friendly community, you should also watch XQCOW. That is a take. Thank you, person in my chat. Okay. All right, let's see. So, fast retake through main with Coalescence. I don't like this at all, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be very, very hard to get good coal value with Fate just playing behind cover, right? You don't want to have to push all the way around into them. And again, you have the Tracer here. So I feel like actually going coast to point might be the best play. Or if you want to get really weird, you can go this way and come behind them and force them and then run on them in the open when they don't have high ground to play, right? But I think going through main is not good. I think you want to rotate to like one side of the point. I feel like this rotation might take too long, especially against Ash Tracer. It gives them time to get pull dynamites, pull pulses, build all their ults back up. So it might be better, but I think just going coast to point is probably the best play here. I think point's always good, yeah. All right, so we get the shatter once we're on point. It's really big. Yaki dies. Ivy ends up burning out, but the drone is down and Tracer is dead, so it's very winnable now. Carpe's going down though. They're sustaining a lot. The rally comes out. The drone got forced, but the BAP is still alive. Yeah, and the rally is just way too fucking much. This comp has so much sustain, dude. It's so hard to just get clean wipes without really big ultimates. Okay, so Yaki holding close. This time rotating through window gives you you take a little less spam here. It's not bad. You catch Fate out of position. He does get caught by the wall. Is somehow still in the drone though. What the fuck? I can't believe that didn't break drone LOS. So let's back up a little bit, talk about this fight a little more as it unfolds. So Fate starts out a little close, gets walled. Okay, no worries. Good defensive flux. The drone is not out yet. What is Fate's HP? Literally 26 HP. Okay. Now, all of a sudden, he's in a drone. You really hate to see it. You really hate to see it. Ends up being a really good drone from Gangnam Jin. The aggro beat is good, but it gets nullified a decent amount because of the flux. This is something they do multiple times, bro. He fucking pulses the ground for people landing from flux. He does this like several times in playoffs. It's actually so fucking impossible to deal with. Fate's still alive. Finally dies. Ivy dies to the DPS damage. Poco cannot go on the backline. Coach Gun is too OP. Yaki trying to find a way to kill Alarm. Forces cooldowns. Alarm dies from the high ground. That's GG. Was there a reason why the Blizzard came out so late? Yaki already had it, right? I feel like that Blizzard could have come out much earlier, right? Let's see. Wait, why doesn't he Blizzard as soon as he hears the Flux? As soon as he hears Flux, he knows he's not... It can't get eaten, right? So the Flux comes out now. Just chuck it. Because you can just run on the Sigma and freeze the Sigma in the Blizzard too, right? Yeah, I feel like the Blizzard came out way too late. It's just a really good Flux from Gargoyle, though, to be honest, and a very fortunate lineup for the drone. Thank you. I ordered some food. All right, so yeah, do you guys keep playing Tracer all series long? Because that shit seems not good. The Tracer Rush? Okay, so this is you guys' pick. So, Chris, in my mind, the three hybrid maps are like, this map favors Double Shield, I think. And Hollywood favors Dive, and King's Row favors Rush. So this is your map pick. So is there a reason why you don't go to Hollywood that I think is more Dive favored, or you don't go King's Row that's a lot more Rhine favored and is not in Mayhem's comfort zone? Is that something you can share as to why you preferred this? I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys probably play a lot of Dive here and you felt confident on the Dive, but do you think it would have been better to pick a map that like punishes their comfort zone a little bit more? So Chris said, well, our whole system this week was basically 2 lineups, 2 comps, and we get to be flexible, which makes sense. A Rush lineup and a Dive lineup, and you can play them depending on the map. Versus Gladiators, we lost Dive, so we just forced Brawl maps. Makes sense. Here we lost Brawl, so tried to force Dive, and we liked Blizzard World more than Hollywood. Okay. If a team beats us, they have to beat 2 versions of Philly, not just 1. And you felt like, based on map 1 and the Brawl not working on Busan, that Brawl wouldn't work on King's Row? Because I feel like picking King's Row, I don't know what Shock picks or what Mayhem picks against Shock, but I feel like King's Row is almost a free win against Mayhem when they're playing this comp, right? But yeah, well, it could, but we just had just as much success with Dive as Brawl. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah. And I definitely, if the version of Brawl you were going to play was going to have Tracer, like, just don't play that. Wanted to see if they could beat it. Okay. That makes sense. It makes sense if you lose the first map playing Rhine, you don't want to hard force Rhine, you feel confident on Dive, you're like, okay, let's see if they can also beat the Dive. Because if the Dive just feels way, way easier, we should just play Dive the rest of the series. That makes sense. So, Mayhem playing their same comp, no issues here. Holding the first high ground, super common, right? They want to hold the first high ground. Then they want to make sure they don't get their cooldowns forced. Particularly, they don't want Drone to get forced. and then they want to fall back to point, right? Against a dive like this, it's really important that you don't let Philly get multiple like clean lines for the dive. So your backline's going to want to be playing like here and here. Some combination of this space is where your backline wants to play. So you want your front line to hold up here to kind of cut off a lot of the routes for the dives. And then the back line or the defensive tracer can watch this flank. So, because ideally in attack, you can have someone dive from here. You can have someone dive from here or here. And then you can have someone come from snacks and dive here or even go all the way behind, right? But you want at least 3 separate angles for your dive. So it's important when you're playing against dive that you intentionally position to stop those 3 angles. So that could be your tracer holding this space, and then if no one's here, they can push, okay? Your Orisa holding here, and your Sigma, you don't want him to play like super close and aggressive because he actually ends up being a dive target like we discussed. So you just want your Sigma to hang out like around here, you know? He can just contest this. He can be ready to help here if he needs to. He can be ready to help the Orisa. He can come. He's just flexible, but he's just playing here, not too aggressive, right? And what Fusion is probably just going to do here is they're not going to be able to get any pushes early unless they get a very fat sleep or nade kind of for no reason early on. Probably just want to play to take damage with your tanks, build nano, and then hard engage with Nano Monkey, right? That's the easiest kind of flowchart way to play this matchup. So let's see how it actually plays out. So Florida just spamming from high ground. They're actually staying here for a while. This feels really bad. Yeah, they get hard punished for this. Sato barely lives, but that just means there's going to be a bunch of nano charge. You cannot... I feel like that's a huge throw from Mayhem. They play... They're literally planning to use drone here. This is awful. Why would you do that? I don't understand what the point of this is at all. The quick little 360 from Sato. Easy splash nade. It's so easy to get fat nades here for the Ana. Nade here, nade here, nade here. So easy to get good nades. You cannot stay here. I just truly don't understand this. Very poorly played from Mayhem. That shit is dumb as fuck. Now they have no control of anything. They have no Baptiste. They're still trying to barely hold the flank. They're just getting run over in the front line because their tanks don't have heals because the Bap is dead. That's GG. Holy shit. That was very bad from Mayhem. I don't know why their plan was to commit to that first high ground. Huge, huge throw. Well, maybe the dive matchup is the play, bro. They just don't respect dive at all. Okay. So now, they're trying to hold this middle high ground. This is kind of an awkward place to play. Just because it's so easy for the surround to come in for the divers. It can be really hard for them at times. Like, obviously, this is where you want to play. Playing on the low ground with your tanks just means your backline is even more exposed. And playing on the low ground with your backline together just makes the surround even easier. But this is just an awkward point against the dive unless you can hold, like, really close. Because on first point, right, what we talked about, which we never got to see because Mayhem fed, was you want your tanks to play to deny space and your tracer to stop the flank as well. So you want to hold space so that they can't surround you and they have to dive a really long distance to get to your backline, right? That's the way you want this to work. There's no real way to position to make that a thing unless your tanks play low ground while your backline plays high ground. But the tanks playing low ground doesn't, like, there's too many flanks. They can't control all of them. So it's just not super good on this point for the double shield matchup in defense, I think. So EQO gets nanoed while they primal. This is a really good rotation, I think, is to play when you have both nano and primal, instead of just nano monkey early and then have him primal when he gets low, is to nano echo and play super, super aggressive with nano echo. It's even better when the enemy team has their own echo for you to just fly on. But in the absence of that, looking for Brig or Sigma is like a really, really good option, as well as just kind of bullying the BAP and forcing drone. So clean fight win, 3 ults invested from Fusion, but these are normal ults you use to just cycle and push. So now they have Rally coming up to sustain. They can copy, they can't primal because there is no primal, but a really good copy is Sigma. Copy Sigma on the high ground, Flux the backline. You have a lot of, options there, or bomb engage. So they just need to build these ultimates really quick. They use Rally to build those ults, to push up for space. This is really good. Again, there's just too many flanks on this point for the tanks plus Tracer to control here. So they're forced to just all kind of group up together. The Square and Rally both come out from Mayhem for just the Rally for Fusion. So Fusion pushes the car really far. The Rally runs out. They just back up a little bit and they get to build. I mean, this is basically going to be a whole nano for Alarm here. Based on the damage that Fury just took. Yeah, barely any more poke needed for Alarm to have this nano. And now they can cycle ults really well, and they get to use the Echo copy while they Nano Monkey. So that makes their dive really scary. So they do Nano Monkey while EQO does that off-angle Sigma play. That's really good. BQB barely alive. I think maybe going on BQB is a little questionable from Sato. The Flux doesn't really pressure him very hard. Wait, where is Chris? Why is Chris dying? What happens? So, look at where the backline has to play. Like, they don't have any power position. They're just trying to play long sightlines and play close to their tanks, right? Because if they play over here, they don't have good sightlines on the point, and they can't stop themselves from getting dove. I mean, they can't really stop it here, but they can at least get more help from their team. Oh, so Gangnam Jin is with him. So diving BQB is fine because Gangnam Jin's also there. He gets whip shot by Chris. That's why he ends up in the weird position. He was going on the BAP. I think that's the right target. You want to force the drone. Alarm has high ground totally uncontested. Against the hit scan Tracer double shield comp, the Ana has high ground control. You hate to see it. Lands a really good nade on the backline. Gangnam Jin, where's the drone buddy? Where's the drone buddy? Where's the drone buddy? Drone's so late while he's so split from the Brig. That means Chris is dead. That shit gets broken. Backline gets killed. Yeah, I think Florida does not play this well at all. And their ults get outplayed, and Fusion is really, really clean so far on this attack. Florida has made some very big positional mistakes, I think, on this defense so far. And Fusion is just not letting them get away with it at all. And if they're going to keep making the mistakes and you can keep just diving them, fuck it, just keep doing it. Now Mayhem is getting some more ults online. There's no drone to deal with pull pulse. So like pull pulsing a Brig is really big. But Fury is going to obviously always be looking to try and eat that. So Carpe has his own Brig armor, gets to play to take the Tracer duel because they're on that and a Brig comp. Early aggressive bomb engage, you love to see it. Bubbling off BQB. Gangnam Jin does actually get the drone off. Really well done by him. The drone dies really fast to the beam. Wait, how is BQB not getting hit by EQO's beam? Am I crazy? Was that not directly on him? Somehow BQB does not die. They only get to kill the drone here. So let's look at this. Let's see if we can figure out why this is. I might just look at it from EQO's POV, because that shit looked like he was getting beamed, bro. Okay, so we have the Diva Bomb dive while the Echo, the Tracer, and the Monkey go in, right? And when you don't have Echo ult, you don't have Primal, you don't have Nano, this is the play you gotta make, right? No issues there. Actually, I don't think this is the play you have to make. I think when you have Pulse, when you have double bomb, you can just kill tanks. I feel like that's a better play here, Chris. I think the better play here is to bomb to split the team and then use Bubble and Pulse to actually kill the tanks. I think that might be better in this situation. I think going backline here when you don't have Nano, Primal, or Echo ult is really hard, actually. I feel like bombing tanks is good. I mean, maybe, let's see, because they almost kill the Ashe. Then they kill the drone. And for real, though, how is the Ashe not getting beam damage? Like, he doesn't take any damage. I get that EQO wasn't, like, perfectly on him the whole time, but... yeah, I don't know, that was weird. The bomb's not stunned. I think this can work. Yeah, I mean, I think bombing to split the team and then killing backline or killing frontline is, like, obviously the play, right? The question is just which one's going to be more... yeah, our Diva Bomb. Yeah. I think it's just which one's more reliable, I guess. I don't know. In my head, because we always play the Zen comp, we're just going to kill the front line because we just discord the front line and they just disappear, right? They just die super fast. So maybe with the Ana, it's harder to do that. I don't know. Yaki just picks EQO. I think pushing in from here is going to be really hard for you guys. Obviously, you're not just going to get stuck every time, but it's going to be hard. BQB goes McCree. I think that's a pretty solid swap. Our Brig got stunned if it flies. In something does 1000%. Okay. So engage into the backline while with the Nano Echo. Again, the same thing we talked about. When they have Primal up already, you Primal plus Nano Echo. The Nano Echo doesn't get a kill, but the nade plus the engage does force drone. They're booping people out of the drone. The Brig gets focused down. Just really good, aggressive, high-tempo play from Fusion here. They just dive in. They use their first ult. No one's dead yet. Use your second ult. Just keep fighting. It's exactly what you like to see. Good at forcing drone and then punishing it. Sleep on BQB gives them a little time, but this last fight, the positioning's a little weird, so they need to farm up ults. They don't want to take this fight without ults. They're about to farm both DPS ults. EQO in a precarious position here. Maybe gonna die. Yep, goes down. While the rally in front line gets a kill. Carpe uses Pulse, but doesn't matter that much. So now Nano and Echo ult are up. So now you want to see that Nano Monkey come in while EQO copies someone with his ult, but he doesn't really have a super good copy target at the end of this point. Because usually against this comp, you want to copy Sigma, right? That's the really high value ult, is to get Flux. But there's not a good place to, like, go copy Sigma and go play, right? Where you can, like, build a fast Flux. What? Florida is so far forward, though, and they give EQO a good place to play. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Why are they so far forward? He doesn't end up getting a bunch of Flux value, but... why is Florida so far forward? Why aren't they just holding choke? Like, that's terrible. If they just hold this line, EQO doesn't have this high ground Sigma to play. That's what you always want to do when you copy Sigma, is play an off-angle high ground, because they can't run on you and break your ult, and you just sit up there with your shield and just shoot stuff and farm and get a Flux. That's it. But if you're playing, holding this with your front line, what is EQO going to do? He either has to copy the Sigma and play over here, and he's just shooting shields. It's going to take him forever to get a flux. Or he has to, like, fly behind the whole team by himself, copy Sigma, and he's just going to get killed instantly. So there's no way for him to get the value he wants to get out of this Echo ult if Florida just plays further back. But for some reason, they play super far forward. They're trying to sustain. They're close to sustaining. There's still a Primal available for Sato, though. He held it for so long. Yeah. Ugh. That's rough. Florida is just, in my opinion, making a lot of positional mistakes on this comp. And you really can't afford to do that. Especially against Dive. Okay. So Fusion playing the dive defense. Mayhem playing their McCree version of the comp in attack. They're doing a rotation that a lot of rush comps do when they don't want to deal with dive, or even when they don't want to deal with double shield. Just go all the way around. It's an interesting strategy. I'm not sure that it's that good. Alarm is chilling for quite a while. A little risky. Kind of out in no man's land here. But then they still feel like they have to push. And this is why this strategy is like, maybe it's not terrible, but it's very inconsistent. As you push here, right? And you end up kind of in the same position you're in defense. Like playing the same matchup, right? We were talking about Orisa plays here, Sigma plays here, you watch the flank here, right? You end up holding a lot of the same space, except you have no control over the whole fucking map. So, whereas on defense, you hold this space and it stops them from ever getting in. On attack, when you rotate here, they're already wherever the hell they want to be around you. So it's way, way less consistent than holding the same position in defense, if that makes any sense. And that's why Florida feels like they have to push in aggressively. Also, Alarm was maybe a little out of position, so it made it easier for them. Ooh, and Fury definitely gets caught out. So let's see how Fury ends up caught out. I feel like this is an unforced mistake, maybe. Yep. Little unforced there. Little greedy dive in there. A little bit of a throw. There's no reason to rush that, to feel like they have to get that pick right there. You can slow play on this version of dive. Just farm up. They're so close to the nano. Imagine if Fury had just lived, bought a little time. They have nano. Now Florida has to push in, and there's a nano monkey in their face, right? So much easier to deal with. They still get a pick onto BQB, but both their tanks are dead. So it's going to be hard. They're close to nano, but they don't have it, so they can't nano brig. They're close to Echo ult, but they don't have it, so they can't stall with an Orisa copy. Fate making the right play, playing aggressively on the brig, just running on the brig with his pull. Really good. Oh, but Gangnam Jin. What the fuck? Alarm. Bro, maybe this guy is the best player in Overwatch League. What the hell? Oh my god. No drone, just sleeps him. And everyone else is back in time. Holy shit. They don't even have to use any ults. Oh! That's a big couple staggers there from Yaki. Especially with 2 ticks already gone, this puts a decent amount of pressure on Philly. They have to play to retake here. Still. like, basically everyone's back, right? Everyone's back. Yeah, everyone's here. So let's look at these ults. Oops. Let's look at these ults, right? We have the Nano Monkey because we have the Echo ult, right? So when we have Primal plus Nano, right? We Nano the Echo. When we have Echo and Nano, then we Nano the Monkey, right? So that's how we're cycling ults with this composition. So they Nano Monkey. They get aggressive. The Nano Monkey is looking for the backline. The reason you want to go backline here is you need to get the drone out early. You're not going to do enough damage to the tanks fast enough to force the drone. So there we go. The drone is forced. Step 1 is done. Now the question is, they're under in this bunker. No real nade opportunities. As I say that, Alarm is about to find a goddamn purple. What the fuck? Let's look at this. The pulse gets eaten, but it's a huge purple. But they can't commit into it. And the sleep. That's insane. You shouldn't be able to get that purple that reliably. That's crazy. Also, the nade does damage to the drone, so if people were following up, that makes it really easy to break drone. So the Nano gets really high value. The Nano Monkey gets really high value. Forces drone, breaks drone, forces High Noon to stabilize. High Noon doesn't get any value. Now, they're rallying to push back in. Astro also rallies. EQO kind of beefs his ult. His ult gets like canceled instantly. And Carpe also got his ult eaten. So I think right now Mayhem is a little ahead. But it's off of some individual play. Not really like team play, I think. Fury is getting hella low. And does end up losing his mech. The Primal and the Rally are still going though. I want to see Gargoyle Flux here. He does pop the Flux. He catches Alarm. And that's going to be it. So that, going into that room is always really hard. It's really the second half of that fight where things kind of go south, right? So we have the initial engage with the Nano Monkey and the purple. That's really good. And then the play here needs to be, let's vibe for a little bit. Let's not push things, right? They're high nooning. They use drone. They use square, whatever. Like, we don't have to push in. We don't have to go in there. But EQO tries to get aggressive with the Sigma copy. And again, when the Sigma copy, when you don't have an off-angle high ground to play, it's really easy to just break that ult very quickly. The Sigma is not that good at staying alive in those situations. So yeah, EQO just gets hard punished for that bad ult, I think. And Mayhem just sustains. And that's just kind of how this matchup works sometimes. If you don't get a really clean first kill, and you don't have an easy way to disengage, wait for the drone, and then dive again, if you do that first dive and can't play patiently and get a second dive, you have to hard commit on that first dive. You have to get that kill. Otherwise, they're just going to sustain through everything, I think. That's why I think versus their comp, the Sombra is better. I think Sombra is better versus their comp. Did you guys try Sombra at all in scrims during the week, Chris? Because I feel like Sombra, having the hack, makes it easier to play around drone. And EMP obviously just fucks their comp, right? EMP nade. Yeah, but I agree Sombra will be really nice. Yeah, I think if they're playing... if they're playing this comp, and you don't want to play Zen, I think Zen beats this. I really do think Tracer hit scan, Zen dive beats this comp. But if you don't want to play Zen, if you like the Ana being able to like pocket Sato and cycle ults with EQO, I think you just play Sombra, and I think it will help the comp a lot. Chris, if you haven't already, you should watch Shanghai vs. London. I don't know if you watched that, but London played like Ash Echo. They didn't play the Tracer, I don't think. I think it was mostly Ash Echo, maybe some Ash Tracer. But they played the Bat Brig like double shield comp all the time. And Shanghai was just hard forcing the Sombra Echo Dive, and they were so fucking clean at getting really good purples and hacks and like cycling their ults. It was actually, I was very, very impressed with that shit. Yeah, this bomb engage, you definitely, like, obviously bomb is the big ult you have. It's a really good engage tool against this comp because their front line and their back line want to play separate. So the bomb can split people. It's really good. The problem is, they've kind of committed to playing here. But the bomb comes out when they've already moved. So that's unlucky. It looks like it got delayed a little bit. They were looking at Fury, using some cooldowns on him, so he felt like he couldn't bomb right away. But, yeah, the timing of that bomb, the placement of it was fine. If it happened about 2.5 seconds earlier, it would have been really, really good. So now that they don't have bomb to work with, decide that the Echo ult is the way to go. I don't know if the Baptiste copy was intentional. I feel like it was. Hopefully it was not. They're just trying to hold in here. They force a drone. That's at least something that the ultimate forces, but it's not going to get a whole lot of other value. The square comes out. Wow, Alarm is just in there. Everyone's just in there. They don't give a shit. Alarm gets asleep. Yaki somehow is still alive. This is just a giant clusterfuck in here. Wow. I really feel like you guys should have won this fight. I don't know how you lost this fight, I'm going to be honest. Oh, I think he just copies because he's going to die. Because they're pushing him. Okay. So he's playing above, spamming, no worries. Gets a square, more spamming. Okay, so at this point, Florida is scared. Yaki is slept, Fate is purple, Gangnam Jin's getting bashed, right? I mean, part of that, oh my god, he's one shot. He literally lives? Oh my god, that is tragic. But also, what? How do you guys let this guy live, dude? Oh my god. No one's there to help Alarm. We butchered a 3, 2, 1 countdown. Hano Hu Sip. And then Fury dies. I don't even think Fury should die there either. Like once you force them into this room and their entire team is in this room and you guys are playing above them, like that's a damn good situation to be in. That's not a fight you expect to lose, right? I don't know. I feel like Fury, if there's one person on the team that's been getting punished or making the most mistakes this map, I definitely feel like it's Fury. There's multiple times I think he's given up his mech where it didn't need to happen at all. I don't know if it's miscommunication or like play style or what, but it's been hard so far. This is really good stall. I didn't even know you could stall from on top of this. That's actually so annoying. Decide they want to rally aggressively, push the front line. Yaki is able to take out Carpe. All of a sudden things get really hard. Yeah. And Sato and EQO just have to work together in these dives to get kills on this comp, I think. What happens with Yaki and Carpe? Yaki just has bongo damage? Oh, holy shit. He like kills him from a mile away. Oh, and then he just runs up on him. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Sato pops Primal. And Ikkyo is just flying straight up, getting shot by Yaki. And Gargoyle is not low HP at all. And Sato's just kind of primaling him out of the fight, but there's just no kill potential. Like, the only thing that matters in this comp is, like, the disruption doesn't do anything for you. Because if your monkey is just disrupting backline alone with Primal, literally not having your monkey means you can't kill, right? You literally, you have to use your monkey and your echo on, like, the target that you're killing. They have to go together. And there was just no kill potential or kill pressure at all there. So I think the first two fights that got lost were like committing into a small room and then Fury getting caught when you commit into a small room. And then that fight was Bongo being super OP and not having very many good ults to just engage the fight. Like, just a big ult disadvantage. Here we go. We have the Tracer duel on top. This is a really important position for both Tracers to be able to play. It's a good duel to take. EQO again copies the Sigma on the off-angle high ground. Ooh, Alarm dies to the High Noon, which is really unfortunate. He's already gotten the Nano off, but the whole team is going to start taking a bunch of poke damage. EQO finally gets the Flux. Flux plus Bomb engage. The Bomb gets a couple good kills. But the rally is just insane. Funny Usher did not get his rally off. And again, Alarm died early. Yeah, Alarm... Oh, he was playing to try and sleep it, but I think the Sigma shielded it. Okay, well, really good heads-up play from Gargoyle. Fury gets low and then commits with his bomb, splits the team. Again, the Flux comes out. Wait, how does the Flux not hit BQB? I didn't know Flux had weird LOS checks like that. Chris, why not Ashe Torb comp against Mayhem? Alright, so pushing back, trade enough kills. Oh, but Carpe dies in the duel to Yaki. Fury getting focused a lot here. Okay, early rally. I love to see this. Sato getting aggressive. Has Primal up. Huge Primal juggles. Easy win with rally Primal. Clean, clean. And Carpe is on the Ashe now. If you're playing Ashe, why don't you just play Zen? Okay, so playing the high ground is really good. Like we said, it was a super important position for Mayhem to hold, so making them waste a bunch of time pushing into you there is great. They use Bongo and Square early to deal with that Nano. You love to see it, but now we're in this position where we're kind of messy, we're kind of split, and their team comp is much tankier, much more forgiving, and much more sustainy, where the Philly team comp much more has to like be on the same target to ever get any kills. Ikyo copies Brig, which isn't going to do shit. I think copying Brig can be okay in Dive Mirror when you're like on the goal line and you really need to cap or you really need to stuff. But against a comp like this, if you copy Brig, you have literally negative damage. Your team actually heals the enemy team by like being in their vicinity. So I think the Brig copy is like really, really bad. Against a comp like this, I think it's useless, actually. Huge re-engage, though, when EQO comes back. Fury has his bomb to help sustain. Bob, really good for point sustain. That's one of the reasons why I like Ashe a lot against these comps. Just so good for sustaining point. Still a difficult fight here, though. EQO does go down. Sato's back on the ball. Get the Nano Ball. The rally on point is insane. That's it. That should be a dub, right? It should be a dub. Tell me it's a dub. It's a dub. All right. Makes sense. Okay. So, by and large, I think both teams on their defenses were making some weird mistakes. Like, I think Mayhem had really bad positioning on first and second point versus dive. And they paid heavily for it, and they weren't able to stabilize enough on third to make up for that. I think Fusion also made a couple mistakes on first and second point on their defense, committing into small rooms that they didn't necessarily need to, particularly Fury getting caught out. But third point defense for Fusion was the big difference maker, I think. I think they played much better there. Okay, now we go Hanamura. I am so surprised that Florida picked Hanamura, actually. Actually, let me think about it. Because what are their options? Hanamura, Temple, and they definitely don't want to play Temple. Their comp is so garbage on Temple attack, right? They're never gonna play Temple. And the other one's Volskaya. Okay, so actually maybe this makes sense because they say when we played against Dive, it was hard, and you can play Dive on Volskaya. And when we played against Rush, we did a lot better, and you play Rush on Hanamura. So they pick Hanamura because they felt more comfortable against your Rush than they felt against your Dive. That's my read on this. That's my expectation, okay? So Philly plays what, in my mind, is the best defense comp to play here. I think this is the right comp to play in defense. I think May Rush comp is just undeniably too strong in this map. And I think the best version of that on first point and probably second is one with Hash. This map's going to keep up all night. We had to make a decision which lineup to play on this map. Yeah. I think you made the right call just because dive on second point attack is really, really hard. I feel like it's impossible. Brawl is better for map or dive, which had been working. I don't know how you make dive work on Hanamura second, though. If I was in this position, I would be like, we have to play our Rhine lineup. Yeah. Okay, so first mistake is Ivy's positioning. Why is Ivy playing over there? Why is Ivy playing here? He shouldn't be playing here. He should be here, right? Why is Ivy playing over here? So the reason I think Ivy should be here is to deny this window, right? We know on attack, it's so common for flankers to come through this window, right? Shouldn't May play here? What's the point of her playing here? We have our May play here when we play this comp. So you still get wall value. You can still play aggressive. But it makes it so, like, you can either wall this, or when they try and come in, you're just instantly freezing them and forcing cooldowns. But I think the May doesn't do anything here. I think the May actually does something here. And I think getting walls is easier from here, too. And if you get pressured, you just drop. I don't know. He only cares about the choke. If people take top right, it's okay. He can be shot top right. Yeah, but if he gets pressured, he just drops in place here, right? I think this is just so far out of the fight. I don't know. This feels like a really weird position to me. It's like too passive, I think. I don't know. Like, to me, in this position, he's more likely to get dinked by BQB and, like, get his shift forced than he would be top anyways. Alright, so there. Look at this. This is exactly what I'm talking about. They try and make it to where Fate is your target. So they throw the shield, and Fate literally walks up alone to try and bait the wall. That's exactly what they're doing right here. Florida is so committed to doing this. See, they have Fate playing forward, trying to make him the only wall target. And it works. The wall does not get any kills. It doesn't even force drone. It just forces the shift. This is Florida knowing how to play this comp against May. They really do a good job of this. Oh, they just abuse Poco, bro. They just look for divas. Okay, but we get a return pick on BQB. Get a good nade. The Diva will be back fast. Tracer's pressuring point. Carpe's got to find a way to win this duel with a Tracer with armor. It's not easy. And you hate to feel this way in a Rhine comp. Like, you're just having to give up space and your Rhine shield is just getting broken all the time. This is the situation you never want to be in on this Rhine comp. But so far, Mayhem hasn't been able to take any, like, super important space. They made it through the choke, but they aren't on point and they aren't set up on point, like, around point at all. So that means that give it a second and a speed play will definitely be doable. And touching point first. Bad wall. Just vibing a little bit. BQB is coming back on Widow, which I think is a really smart swap, actually. Oh, is this square to protect from the... Or was this wall to protect from the square? I don't know. I don't know chicken or the egg type of situation, but I think you definitely wanted to wall off the tanks. We have Nano Rhine. Not getting any value. The Nano Rhine just getting kited entirely. So that's wall and Nano Rhine getting kited. You really, really hate to see that when you're on this rush comp. Chris is getting hella aggro here. Gargoyle gets slept. Alarm again, just getting insane value on his heroes. Poco flying up with to help Carpe fight this Tracer. And this means with the Diva and the Ashe over here fighting the Tracer, this front line shouldn't die this fight, right? This engage should never kill the front line. And they just instantly just back off after forcing drone. Because they're never going to get a kill with those two looking at other things, right? It's just actually impossible. The shield gets broken. Carpe does end up getting the kill on Yaki. So investing the Diva and the Ashe's time ends up being good because they kill the Tracer. And now all of a sudden the Ashe has hella space until she doesn't anymore because she gets her head taken off. But this time the Diva is with them. When they get the wall, they also get the nade. There's no drone up. So finally it pays off. That was an incredibly tense fight. But really good job by Mayhem to never make the engages easy. And good job by Fusion to never overcommit onto bad engages. And then back up and then keep forcing cooldowns and finally get that... that pick. All right, he says watch the kill on Tracer. So I'm assuming that's watch Carpe. Oh! At 40 HP too. That's just a hero maneuver. And then BQB makes him pay for it, but unless BQB gets an insane shot right there and then he just gets slept instantly. But unless he had hit some crazy-ass shot after killing Carpe in that really fast-paced engage, he's just fucked. Bro, alarm. Yeah, you're not wrong, dude. Tracer dead again. Alright, so let's see. Okay, so the Tracer gets in bottom left, gets slept, gets woken up, unlucky. Again, they just walk through the choke and kill Poco. Oh no! He actually lives and gets to the fucking... Mega. Yo, Poco needs to not do that. That's twice now that he's giving them a free mech. Just vibing over there. Sleep. Fucking Astro wakes him up like a dumb bitch. Actually, insane wall. Why was he even there to be able to get walled in front of his tanks? It's terrible. Poco trying to run, trying to find a way to live. Actually is surviving. That's insane. He shouldn't make it so hard on himself by getting so low to start. But he found 2 megas because Hanamura. Okay, Blizzard and Beat come out. Cancel the Flux. Ivy lives. Poco dies after his mech. Oh, Sato gets pulled. Oof. Yeah, I feel like you guys should have won that fight, right? Like, should respawns win things that hard? So far you guys haven't lost anyone, right? Everyone is alive right now. A little split, but everyone's alive. Okay, so Carpe goes down over here to the flanking rally Brig Tracer duo. Chris, any thoughts on your DPS rotation? Does too many sub in May hurt the cohesion? Good question. Really don't know. Lots of reasons we lost. Hard to say if it's better with the stable lineup or not. This fight cost us the map. 3 people go for Brig, 3 people main. Yeah. Yeah. Super split. So let's see how this plays out. They're chasing Poco. Poco runs away and lives. Carpe is looking for the Brig. The Tracer's on him. The Brig is rallying. So Carpe, oh, that's like an alley-oop, bro. He whip shots him right into him. Then the Bob gets thrown down. Now Poco flies at them with Nano by himself. There's no way he wins this 2v1. Astro kind of comes to help. And Poco realizes he needs to run his ass home. Poco just gets stuck. Whip shot. Boom. Yeah. Yeah, you guys just get way too split. That's unfortunate. We got 4 ult and win a fight. If we chill, we're looking really good for a full hold. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Agree. But they win the fight, so we head to second point. Still have pretty good ults here. Both tank ults are surprisingly... Bomb is actually really good on this point. Shatter's surprisingly good. Insane wall engage. But just not able to get kills despite that engage being that fucking good. That's actually so tragic. Good bomb. Late bomb. Wins the fight. Hopefully. Yeah, Yaki's dead. They can't come back from this. I want to watch how they manage to not die to that fucking wall play. That's actually crazy. So let's see. Wall gets the Sigma, Brig, and Orisa. They break that shit so fast, actually. Oh, he probably fans the hammer. I think the McCree fans the hammer. And the BAP just instantly starts healing through it. Sato just shatters a fucking corner. He shatters nothing. Unlucky. At the highest level, small mistakes like this cost a lot. I mean, yeah, I think splitting 3-3 in one of these comps is like a big mistake, though. But a lot of people probably don't view it that way. Like a lot of like viewers or whatever don't think that's a big mistake, but... Okay, go for a really similar wall play here. Don't really get good wall value. The Nano Rhine's coming in. Hell yeah. You love to see double pin kills. Wait, are they trying to clutch, bro? No, Yaki's dead. Okay. Alarm clutches. Alarm out clutches their clutch attempt. Okay, so now, no Mail. They've swapped to May. Because May is just too OP in this point. So hard to deal with. Fair enough. But they have 5 other ults. This should be a L for Fusion. This should be very winnable for Mayhem, right? What I want to see them do is push out onto the high ground and use Bongo on high ground. Okay? In the overwhelming majority of cases, I think using the Baptiste ult before Bongo is the play, right? Because Baptista you use to like take space, and then Bongo lasts for a long time. You can use it to hold space. But the problem is, oh, I got some other followers. Surlia 20 or 92, thank you for the follow. Juby, I assume that is the Overwatch player Juby. Thank you for the follow. And SkyGuy53, thank you as well. Okay, so the thing is, if you use square on the high ground here first, and then go point, and your Orisa Bongo's on point, it's very likely that the Bongo gets broken. It's very likely that the Bongo gets broken. There's not a great place for the attacking Orisa to place Bongo, like maybe right here, I guess. But it's still not very good. It's still not very good. So I think the best play is to use your rally, push out here to take space, okay? Win this fight in close range with rally. Use Flux when they run on you if you need to, okay? So use Rally and Flux to get control of the point and keep your backline safe on high ground, right? Then you use Bongo, put it like behind this pillar here, right? So that you guys can fight in here and push out. And then when Bongo runs out and they try and retake, use High Noon and Square when they try and push back in all the open space, right? That to me, that's how this ult rotation needs to work. And if they use the Rally and Flux and they get good value out of their Rally and Flux, they should be able to live through this beat rush. The question is, can they handle the Blizzard, right? That's the big question here. That's Philly's big way to win, is don't let them force the fight on point. Get Blizzard and wall value up here on the high ground, okay? So let's see. They instantly Bongo on the high ground. Bob comes in as well. And they use wall. It forces out the rally. Sato is in a very precarious situation committing early. Ivy... What happened to his ult? Did his ult get bashed or something, bro? Did his ult get bashed? Yo, his ult is about to get bashed, bro. Why does he do this? He sees the... Oh, no. That was a really bad play from Ivy. I really liked the start of this fight. Where you kind of run in and use Bob, which is like a very low value ultimate in this situation. And use Bob and like Maywall to force them to use Bongo Rally. Like, that's actually such a good trade. But then you guys end up just beefing the Blizzard after, and that's like your real win condition here. So the beat gets used to try and survive the Flux. Gargoyle is up in Ivy's face. Poco's flying on Gangnam Jin. Gargoyle has to back off. Gangnam Jin actually dies. That's an insane pick from Poco. All of a sudden, this is very, very winnable. All of a sudden, this is very, very winnable. Holy shit. Poco with the hero kill. What comp will be for the final playoff where it really matters? I think it's way too far away to know. There will be like so many patches before then. I think it's way, way too far in the future to know which comp will be the best in playoffs. And usually there's a patch for playoffs. Oh my god. This is exactly how you want NaNoWriMe to work against this comp. Destruction. And a huge nade from Alarm as well. What was Alarm's angle? Did he just run in with that? Because usually on this high ground you kind of have to do that. You can do one of two things. You run in with the team, or you peek left while the team peeks right. And no, you're just going in with the team. Yeah, that's huge. Huge play. That's a hold. Almost a tick given, but no ticks. Wait, do you guys lose this map? You don't even get a draw. You lose this map. Alright. Well, we're in for something. We're about to see something happen. See, to be fair, though, defense is where they're... In this map, defense is where their comp is super strong, right? Like, I don't even know... Like, I feel like against this comp in this situation, I don't even know what I want to play, bro. I feel like I just want to mirror, but with Widow. Yeah, I think you definitely should have full hold as well. But, like, if you have perfect robot players that can play every hero, can play every comp, what is the on-paper comp that you feel like has a strong matchup into this comp on Hanamura first point? I think dive is really hard on this point against this comp. Yeah, you can just mirror with like a beefy double shield. But I would play Widow and just have Widow play out here and just look for picks and be really fucking annoying. That's what I would play here. I would play same backline, same tanks, Widow, Echo maybe. That's probably what I would play. I don't even know. Echo might not even get that much value here. It might even play just Widow May. I don't fucking know, bro. This shit's terrible. We won mirror earlier, so could have considered it in hindsight. I mean, I'm just talking about in a perfect world where it's like that you can play anything, you're prepared for everything. It's like the players can play anything. Like just on paper, if everything is an option, what is actually the best matchup? I'm not sure. Dive would be interesting here because, like, I mean, they're not going to run out and, like, kill your backline if you play, like, Ana, right? But your Ana sightlines are so ass. Like, Tracer can get in fine. Your tanks can get in fine. They don't really have anyone that can stop it. If the Sigma plays here to stop it, you can just kill him. But what's your other DPS besides Tracer? Yeah. Probably Echo Sombra dive could win here, for sure. But that might be it. Even Tracer Sombra. Yeah. I still really like Echo against Sigma comps. I think it's so good. Like, if you play Echo and the Sigma is playing here, you can literally just jump in with your 2 tanks and your 2 DPS and just one-shot him. So I think it's good. But yeah, I don't know. This is a very, very strong point for this composition. It's really hard to deal with here, I think. Okay. This is an interesting positioning for Gangnam Jin to be up here, too. Dive on defense is hard. No room for error for full held first point. I don't know if I agree with that. I think dive is just hard on defense on this point because people will just sim TP to point. And you can't set up a dive. Otherwise, I think you could play dive here. Okay, doing the old school rotation stuff. Leave a hit scan in the choke. Classic Overwatch shit here. Trying to rotate all the way behind point. Is there a reason you guys aren't playing Widow when you're doing this strat? As opposed to Ashe? I feel like the Widow's really good here. Touching point, forcing them to have their back to your hit scan. You also have your back to their Tracer. Sato's shield is just getting fucking demolished. Wall does nothing. Sato's dead. This is hard, bro. Who are you supposed to speed on here when you do this rotation? I feel like maybe this rotation is the mistake. I think we swapped to it, or maybe I can't remember. They got a touch point. Yeah, but then you just, if they have to touch point, you just end up running on only the Orisa while everyone else is holding wide space and the Tracer is shooting you in the ass. That's how they want their comp to work, right? Sato taking 300 HP for no reason ruins it all, because if you think about it, he's 500 HP, we will be able to amp and engage it. Yeah, definitely you need the Rhine to be full HP to engage, but like you're only going on the Orisa and like everyone else is super safe. I feel like this is still just playing into what they want, right? Wouldn't it be easier to just run through choke onto the Sigma? Isn't that the play? Like, well, first, let's back up a little bit and see how Sato takes all this damage. Is it literally just... Oh, it's Yaki and BQB, I think. But it's mostly just Yaki shooting him in the ass. He's literally 100 HP. He's literally 100 HP. He just cannot push. That really sucks. And do you guys still have amp? No. You just amped heals because you're getting fucking rolled. If you amp heals in this comp, it's GG. You already lose. There's nothing you can do at that point. But like, let's look at this. Like, in my mind, you want to come kill these people, right? Isn't that the play? Alright, let me see. Even Orisa is fine because we gonna force drone, etc., get ticks, and they got a retouch. At the same time, we got an Ashe shooting the drone or the Orisa in the back of the head. No way we can just run at them and not die. Right now, 5 people point. Full shield, really good for us. Yeah, if we got amped, the wall's going to be fine maybe, and we got a real chance. No, I don't think it's possible. We'll die en route every time. I'm just thinking about playing an Orisa comp. Playing Rhine Orisa and just running directly at these guys and pulling and killing them. I think you can do that. I think that will work. I don't know. Maybe it won't, but I feel like you can get a kill there. But with BAP playing right here, maybe not. That's probably why they play here, is because they don't want you to be able to run on them. No way they would let that happen if they see a reset. Maybe. Maybe. But yeah, if you have to amp heals, you already lost, right? And the Widow probably is better in this situation for sure, because it makes them so much more scared of having their back to you than the Ashe. But yeah, first fight. Can't win. And the problem is these rotations also take a long time. So that's not dope. Oh. Get a pick on Yaki, but Alarm dies, so now it's GG. So now, by the time you get back in position... Oh, wait, you're still getting kills somehow. What the fuck? Wait, how do you guys actually lose this? Okay, Carpe dies late. Sato's back. So it's 5 people here. They square. You're just LOSing it. They bob to stall point. It's a really good bob. You guys should just boop it off. I don't know why the bob is just vibing. Why it hasn't been booped off point yet. That's actually a super good bob, though. Nano onto Sato. Does not get the shatter value through the double shield. Oh, no. Ivy gets his ult bashed again. Oh, no. He does get it off. Whew. Big flux, though. Makes it really hard for anyone to follow up on the Blizzard. Drone also makes it impossible to follow up on the Blizzard. But Poco kills Gangnam Jin. Bro, how do you guys not win this? Gangnam Jin is dead. And Chris is dead. And Fate is dead. What? Wait, BQB clutches. What the fuck? Damn, BQB kills Carpe and takes Poco's mech right there. Holy shit. It was better, but I'm 90% this rotation is optimal if Bob's on point. I think we win too, to be honest. Yeah, maybe. Also, I think you guys needed to boop that fucking Bob, bro. Right? Like, I don't feel like that was too hard to do. Like, right here, Poco and fucking Astro need to boop this Bob off the goddamn point. It's actually the freest shit ever. But they end up getting unbelievable Bob value. You guys are like hiding in the corner, taking shield damage, hiding from a Bob. You don't boop him out of the way, so he's not contesting. You don't kill him. It's literally like the highest value Bob can like possibly get. Wait, that was a crazy ricochet shot. What the fuck did Gargoyle just pull, bro? First of all, Gargoyle plays this super well. He actually plays insane. But watch this. Oh, okay. I thought he hit some weird ricochet shot to kill the Rhine, but he didn't. Never mind. Wow. Okay, doing the rotation again with only 1 minute left. It's all on the table here. Alright, so let's talk about ults. And no, we are still on. Ash, wait, is Carpe with you? Yeah, he's going high ground, I guess. Yeah, I mean, he can still pressure from here, I guess. But yeah, Yaki's going to look for him. So ult-wise, we've got the pulse for Yaki about to be up. That's huge. Bongo, Rally, both really big. Bob can get built up pretty quick, but it's not insane. And then Fusion has Beat and Bomb, and that's all they're going to get unless the fight lasts a really long time. So they have to get a lot of value out of both of those. I feel like the best way to do this with only one tick needed is you want to just amp and wall and like run onto point, right? And then you want to use Beat to sustain and Bomb to sustain, right? You don't really need to engage with either of these ults, I don't think. Yeah, okay, so you do wall, but you do Beat engage, which is fine. You guys break the Bongo right away, which is good. Alarm is under so much pressure here, though, just chilling. They're just actually scrapping with you on point. Alarm's just gonna die, right? Yeah, the Rally is just sustaining Mayhem so well. The Rally Bongo. Rally Bongo is actually one of the best combos in the game, though. Just like at sneakily making you win fights for free. You don't get good wall value at all, right? Fate gets over the wall, and they rally. And this Beat actually like doesn't do very much. I think the Beat was too early. Like, I don't really think you guys take any damage to like your Beat shields almost at all. No one gets hit. But I think the big thing is the not getting a good wall off And Carpe not playing an off angle. It's really awkward, I think. I really think if he was just playing Widow and chilling up here, it's so much better. Just vibing. And now it's GG. Damn, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Rush is just a really hard matchup on that point for that, like, when they have that comp. And Dive is also awkward. Even if you win there, it's almost impossible to snowball second with Dive, I think. Unless you have, like, insane ults and they blow all their ults trying to hold. Okay, so now it's Philly's map pick, and they say, alright, fuck you, we're going to the map that literally requires you to play Dive. The Dive is 100% necessary here. They can't play their double shield shit. They gotta play Dive. And Mayhem picks the smart person's comp and uses Zenyatta. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. Chris, do you guys end up... Upon hindsight, we've beaten the Orisa comp. If we'd done Rialto, we could have played the matchup we won. I think that's a trap, bro. I think that's a trap. Because didn't you only beat them on double shield when it was a bad Brig map? So they didn't play the Brig Tracer? Oh, Blizzard World? Oh, okay. So go to Rialto so they play double shield, but then just play Dive into them. Yeah. No, I think that would be a good option. I actually think Junkertown would have been your best pick, but if you go Junkertown, they don't want to play Brig Tracer for the ever on first point, right? They are never gonna play Brig Tracer over Echo Zen on first point. So they're not even on the good version of the comp, right? I think Dive is really good on second and third, and you can just win on first because they have a worse comp. But yeah, Gibraltar is probably the worst pick you could have made if you wanted to, like, just counter their double shield with Dive. But did you have any reason to think that you would do worse in the Dive mirror? Yeah, you figured they wouldn't be good at Dive, exactly. So you would just play the Dive mirror because you had practiced Dive a lot and you figured they hadn't. So in the moment, Jib's probably a pretty good pick. It depends, though. If you keep playing Anna, I think it is not a good pick. Alright, so as we've talked about a bunch of times before, on this map, step 1, push cart underneath car wash. Step 2, get control of this high ground, including this. Step 3, rotate backline into server room. Okay? That's what Fusion needs to do here. For some reason, both of these teams are playing Soldier. I don't know what that reason is. I don't know why Soldier would be better than Ashe here. I don't think it is. Maybe Philly is doing it because EQO is not a Ashe player, but super sure about Echo here either, so it wasn't 100%. Yeah, they have that double hit scan option. Yeah. Okay, so step 1, push the car under car wash, check. Just trading a little bit back and forth. Step 2, and this is a really normal thing to do, right? You push up under here, then instead of walking all the way back, you just push up through here and come up to high ground. Now Philly is moving to take high ground, check. Oh, really scary play from Fate there. Actually, he could have died. If he had Zen, he would have died. Okay. Now, step 3 is get control of server room. And as we can see, this very strong backline with the Soldier Brig Zen already here for Mayhem. So it's going to take significant effort to split this off, right? So one thing that they can definitely do here is just fast dive in with their bubble to split the team while their backline rotates here. Because the scary part here for me is having your backline walk across this, right? That's where bad things can happen, is when this part is happening. So if your monkey jumps early and goes here and bubbles, then it means that their backline cannot do anything here, and it makes this cross much safer. The problem is, if your monkey does that, it's pretty easy for them to kill him. If he doesn't have jump and he doesn't have bubble, right? So maybe the play is just have your monkey like walk a little and waddle and put his thing, but then it's like not a deep bubble, or he's going to take a bunch of pokes. So it's not a perfect solution. But this cross can be really scary, right? Assuming Mayhem is actually looking at them during the cross. And that's kind of what we do here. We have the monkey jump in to try and split the team. Use bubble. Diva coming into peel for him at the same time. But this is a really scary situation for Sato, honestly. As soon as his bubble breaks and he gets discorded, he can get killed very, very quickly. Thankfully, Carpe is also somewhat contesting the backline at the same time, so Sato doesn't take a lot of damage. But the thing is, now he's discorded, now Carpe has had to leave, and now they have to actually fight inside the server room. Both teams using their heal pads, both Tracers taking duels outside the fight. But ultimately, Mayhem stabilizes. They do not give backline control, or the Phillies backline control of server, which is really good. But they end up leaving server themselves, which is not great. 4 days prep is so tough to be fully 100% on swaps. Yeah, on 14 fucking maps, bro. It's actually impossible. So already have the nano up. That's really big. And EQO just gets a pick. So with the fast nano, with the pick already happening, this should be a dub. That is a cap. The trance gets wasted. All of a sudden, even with Sato dying, this looks very, very good for Philly in the long run, assuming they don't just start feeding here, and they don't. They've definitely stabilized. The backline of Florida is under huge pressure right now. Great visor timing from EQO. They end up turning and killing EQO and Alarm? What the fuck? Forcing a rally and still dying? Yo, what's happening, dude? What is actually happening? So Gangnam Jin dies, and then everything goes wrong after this. So let's see. Fate has already jumped. EQO runs out, gets peppered by the hit scan, and dies, right? So the Fate dive plus the hit scan damage. Good bubble. Great place for Fate to fight. Wait, and Yaki is in the backline killing Alarm during rally. So, what is Astro doing? Oh, Alarm gets poked by BQB using Visor first. That's why he's killable. Okay, that's Alarm's fault. That's not Asher's fault. Alarm peeks the Visor and dies. So you get negative rally value. Also use Primal. And both DPS ults. And Alarm swaps to the Zen. You love to see it. Keeping Cart in the door. I like it. I think Sato is feeding. Yeah, what's he doing, bro? It was really bad. Why does Mayhem give up Surfer after fighting for it? I think Spatial Patrol is so important. Even though they C9, we should pop Primal and focus winning, right? Yeah, losing the like longer fight over here so that they can stabilize and get control is terrible. Like, you definitely need to just use ult so that you can get control of second point. 1,000,000% yes. 1,000,000% agree. But for real though, Sato feeds here, dude. Sato actually feeds. This is like an actual int. Like, what is this jump? What is he doing? That's a hard feed, dude. That's not how you pressure the enemy frontline in this mirror. That's not great. Okay, rotating across the top, baiting the jump. No, okay. I feel like you guys only like half do this play correctly. And this is, again, this is another one of those like map prep things where if you haven't played this map a lot, it's hard to do. But like, the goal right here needs to be, because like you're never, unless you're going to use a rally, you're not going to cross safely, right? I mean, you can use trance, I guess, but that's a feed, right? So you can use rally to cross here and get into mega and then start pushing spaceship, right? I think that's fine. But when you don't have rally, you have to bait the dive, right? You have to bait, which you guys are doing. But I think having the soldier here is like okay, I guess. But I really think the tracer needs to be underneath. Because you start walking out, you bait the dive, and you discord the monkey, and the diva just boops the monkey down, and the tracer kills him. And we do this shit all the time. This shit is like very, very reliable. But I think that's like a really, it's like a concept that applies in this mirror, except with better heroes, right? In a lot of ways, is like bait their monkey to dive, discord him, and let the tracer just go kill him. And you can do that in so many places where the monkey is going to make an obvious jump on your rotation if you have to make a hard rotation. Or if you're holding a lot of space and their monkey has to dive to like soft dive your tanks, you literally just play to bait and then discord him and then just kill him with your Diva Tracer. Like right now, if he's discorded and EQO is peeking top and Carpe is underneath, this guy's dead. He can't live. But instead, he's just chilling. Like, he shouldn't be able to play there and take no damage. It's actually crazy. Philly Zen on second because Anna is bad on second, or Zen is good on second? You have to ask Chris, but I think Zen is just better in the mirror. Anna can be snowbally, where if you get Nano before any other ults are up, you can win. But then once both teams have ults, the Anna is a lot worse than the Zen, in my opinion. Okay, Yaki is extremely deep right now, chasing EQO. And he recalls, really good chase onto him. Carpe gets his recall force, but you're up a person. Really want to find a way in, but your Zen's on low ground, so it's going to be awkward. This point is just terrible. I actually think this is the worst point in the game. We had a lot of talking because we lost Zen versus Anna the day before. Oh, to who? This is actually the worst point in the game. Yeah, they just int onto you to force the trance. They trance to match. Oh my god, Carpe. Don't do it to him. Don't fucking do it to him. And they actually are clutching this fight. That's unbelievable. EQO just, I'm on point, boys. How this fight is going for so long. And they're winning it. Oh no. That's tragic. Glads. Dope. Is it better to play Anna on defense and Zen on offense? Anna can be good if you don't know what comp they're going to play, I guess. But I don't think you ever need to play Anna in that comp. Unless you're playing the Sombra version, where you have Anna, Echo, Sombra, and you're not playing to like get a bunch of like high damage kills. You're playing just to have ultimates all the time and have a really good ultimate rotation. Then I think you can play Anna, but I think if you're not playing that style, I don't think there's ever a situation where Anna is better than Zen, actually. Like, if you're just getting hard rolled and your backline can never live and your Zen is just always dying, then swap because you're feeding, but that just means you're playing the comp wrong. Like, that shouldn't happen. Okay, so we're at least halfway through the point. We're not in the chokes anymore. Not in the old spawn anymore. So this is like the really, really crucial fight, right? Get the top of ship, which is not bad. Alarm is just popping off while he gets pressured. Yaki gets a kill. Rally is up. And that's it. Fight's over. That's tragic. So we gotta figure out why this happens. So Sato goes really fucking deep. Carpe's touching car. That's fine. There's a visor inside. I'm not sure how useful that is, but it's not a bad time to pop the ult. Yeah, Sato goes really deep and gets really bullied. Wait, how does Gangnam Jin die? Where is this guy? Wait, where's Fury? Oh my god, Fury is in there. Holy shit. Alright, that's actually a huge kill. Solo killing Gangnam Jin. Okay, and that also, Sato dies, but so does Fate, right? Fate gets beamed by Alarm. Despite having Primal up, he dies without being able to use it. But you have to sacrifice top control, but that's okay. I don't even think ship control is that important in this mirror. I really think, this is my opinion on this comp, Chris, I really think you want your Zen to play like on this wall. Like that's where the Zen wants to play. I don't think playing like up here, for example, is really good for attack or defending Zen. Like attacking Zen wants to play here, and like defending Zen wants to play here, I think. So I think this is just like not super important. I think just fighting for it and trading kills is fine, but like over-committing or trying really hard to take it or defend it is not really worth, in my opinion. Carpe, oh, Carpe loses the 1v1 to Yaki. EQO just gets fucking evaporated, and the rally is happening. There's no support ults for Fusion. So that's a reset. A little bit of a stagger, but the problem is, even with a giant ult advantage, the positional advantage on this point is way too big, and having to push in again is so hard. It's actually so cancer to push into this point. It is the worst point in the game. It is literally the reason why I hate Gibraltar. Oh, Carpe's trying to clutch, though. Carpe's trying to clutch, though. Get a kill, get a rally. All of a sudden, this is winnable. It's a miracle fucking play here. An Alarm kills Gangnam Jin? Bro, what the fuck is happening? Carpe with the 1v1. Does Gangnam Jin just take the duel? What happens, bro? Oh, no. Carpe. Oh, Alarm just peeks him with the 5 orb, bro. Destruction. Alright, the tank ults are coming out. Alarm. Oh, Okay, he doesn't trance. They already capped. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Whew. It's a good example of Tracer walking on the low ground for a kill. Is the Zen positioning because he can get dived, pressured into the ship too easily? It's just because you want your Zen to play like open sightlines, where he can see and Discord shit. You want your Zen to be like playing in a really aggressive position so the enemy team feels pressured to dive him, because if they dive him, they lose. So you want to make them feel like diving him is their best option, even though it never is. Okay, both Tracers fighting for the off angle. Let me change where my camera is. Okay, so 48 seconds. This is going to be the last fight. EQO has swapped off of the Soldier onto the Echo. I didn't even notice that after he got beamed in the second to last fight. He swaps to Echo. I think that's a great swap. I think Ashe is better, but Soldier is actively not good. So really aggressive engage for EQO, and Sato allows him to get a pick. The trance to try and sustain. Astro dies, though, which is really big. That means that when Alarm ends his trance, he's going to be in a really risky situation, right? Where Gangnam Jin trance to keep his team alive to counter trance. Chris is still alive and rallying, right? So that's a huge difference here. And that rally just makes things so hard. Alarm gets way the fuck out, so he doesn't have to worry about getting dove. But he cannot keep his front line alive in this situation. Watch Astro's POV when he dies to bomb. Okay. Oh no. I mean, he was in the LOS, but that was just like by a fucking hair. That's really unfortunate. That's a not good mistake to make. I mean, it's still not an easy fight for them just because the rally's going after the trance and Mayhem has other ults, but if their Brig stays alive and they just use Echo ult to copy a tank, yeah, like they're doing right here, it's pretty good. Good double monkey engage. They really need to get a Discord though. Fake gets discorded, but it's really late and it's not a dive target. So let's look at what Alarm's doing during this fight, because he needs to push aggressively and get a Discord, or you can't win diving backline. So let's see. EQO copies. When this is happening, Alarm needs to be Wing. Alarm needs to be Wing right now, and he's right-clicking and playing back because he just took poke. Now there's a bubble in the way. He's not going to get any useful Discords, and it's already too late. You can't engage that far ahead of your Zen in this comp when you're diving backline. It will literally never work. But they were just running out of time. They wanted to go in with their Echo ult. Like, yeah, it's just unfortunate. Damn. I mean, that's not a bad distance to make it on Gibraltar. The big thing is whether you get hard fucked on second point or not. It reminds me a lot of Rialto, where you can get staggered and you have to push across the bridge on second point if you lose a fight and you have to push across the bridge. It's like you just die a bunch of times and you have to use a shitload of ults just to cross the bridge. It's the same thing where you have to die a bunch and use a bunch of ults just to get into second point. But first point is very full holdable and you can run so much time off the clock on second. You got a decent distance on third. I feel like Jib is one of the maps that gets completed like the least of all the payloads. So I feel like this is, yeah, still a very winnable map at this point. Okay, so you decided you wanted to play EQ on Echo instead. I think you can still play Zen with this comp. And I'd prefer Zen. I mean, I've said that a lot, obviously. Or, I don't know if Carpe plays Sombra. But if he did, could do that. Fate's dead. So this is a thing. In this Zen comp, you should not be hard diving, right? The enemy tanks were holding space and jump back because they're doing the nano charging thing. Fair. Fate has to soft dive this, not hard dive this. What his job is not to get a kill. His job is to jump up here, put a bubble, do some zapping, and drop back while his Zen and his soldier are shooting in here to do a shitload of damage and get kills, while his diva flies up to be annoying and keep him alive, right? Tracer's coming underneath to try and kill someone if they drop. But he can't hard commit. That's not how this comp works, right? We keep saying that, but in the dive mirror, you shouldn't be hard committing unless you have like an insane ult advantage. But he dives pretty deep, he gets booped up, and he's just gonna get fucking farmed. You can't make a jump like that. It's a really, really bad play. Now all of a sudden Florida couldn't even do step one, which is push the car through car wash. Alright, they're getting around to it. Yaki pushing the car through car wash. It's far enough. Him and Carpe trading blows a little bit here. But now the car's through car wash. Now they can focus on taking the high ground. They're pushing high ground. Alarm has stayed here too long. Oh, it's a bait though. They actually get a lot of value out of that. That's a very risky play, but it ends up working out. In my opinion, this is the last place you want to stay with your backline. Your options are, actually you can send them here if you want. You can go server, or you can give up all the space and play here or the other high ground. And those are like not as good options as this and this, in my opinion. Can Hisu play Echo at a high level? I do not know. I don't know. Hisu's more of like a hit scan player, right? He doesn't play that many flex DPS. Is that right, Chris? We knew Nano was soon, so wanted aggro positioning. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. So get a bunch of kills with the Nano Monkey, the first ult of the game. And that should be the only fight Fusion wins for the entirety of the rest of this map because they have Ana instead of Zen. Okay. So cart is pushed enough. They go high ground. Oh my god, Gangnam Jin just gets deleted. What are they doing, dude? So let's talk about why this happens. Yeah, he's just a hit scanner because if you watch his POV, he does work here. Alright, so let's talk about the many mistakes I think Florida makes in this fight. Holy shit, what are they doing, dude? This is actually so tilting. So what you have to do in this comp is Edison, KSP all played Echo. Okay, but Edison is like a weird player anyways, and KSP is not that good at Echo. He's not even the Echo player for Valiant. Valiant uses Apply when they want to play Echo. KSP just played it in like a couple specific counter swap situations, but Apply is their Echo player. So like the way this comp works is, the way this comp works is you want to get your Zen in those OP-ass positions, right? And force them to dive you, right? And the idea is they should never be able to kill your Zen, but the reason they shouldn't be able to kill your Zen is because you set up the fucking fight, not because your Zen just walks the fuck in. You have to set it up first. So Fate is just standing here forever, not using his cooldowns, just waiting for his Zen to die. That's garbage, okay? What they need to do is they need to have both DPS up here, okay? Well, realistically, when you have Soldier, Soldier should actually play the backline, but they shouldn't have a Soldier. They should have an Ashe. But you want your Tracer to be able to play this angle or come all the way from behind, but that shit takes forever and is kind of risky coming under here and doing this shit. So, like, it's situational. But you want your hit scan to be able to play up here and see this shit and see this shit and see this shit, right? and not be in the same place as your Zen. That's a really important thing in this comp. It's one of the reasons why I don't like Soldier, okay? Because what's super important is you want double threats. So you have Zen and preferably an Ashe. And if they dive one, the other one is always doing damage. You don't want a single monkey bubble to block both your big damage sources. That's a huge issue if they play on top of each other, okay? And that's one of the reasons why I think Soldier is so bad in this comp, is because he's killable when he plays on his own, and when he plays with his team, it kind of works against the way I think the comp should play. So you want to have your Zen push up this way, you want to have your hit scan and your tracer push up this way, and you want to have your monkey jump on their monkey. That should be the play, right? That is your goal. But they are not setting this up. They're just playing in weird positions and walking their Zen up when there's no pressure on the tanks yet. You have to pressure the tanks or they will dive you. That's how this comp works, is your tanks look at theirs, you force discords onto their tanks by jumping on them with bubble, and you use bubble for yourself, for your own value, because you never go on backline. So you use bubble to fight the enemy tank and to give your Zen good positioning. But Fate doesn't use his cooldowns. He sucks. In this fight, he just sucks. Just wondering what would be the most flexible DPS partners for Fusion hero pool-wise? I don't know what that means. Whoosh101011 subscribe with Twitch Prime. Thank you, friend. I do appreciate the support. So let's watch what Fate does here. Fate makes the right decision, I think, of walking up, which is the play. Okay, they have their hit scan and their Zen on top of each other, which I think is a very bad decision. But Fate needs to be him and Gargoyle need to be going up on the tanks right now. And again, they need presence here because you can't give all this space for free. This is so stupid. They're literally all playing on top of each other in this composition. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. This is terrible. And Sato just goes crazy with Primal. But they build into that fight and set themselves up so badly. EQO also ults there. Maybe not necessary, but... Let's see, about to have Nano, so he can Nano Monkey here. Not bad, not bad. All right, let's see if they set up better this time. All right, they're at least contesting the tanks. Yaki has done that flank from behind we talked about before. Gangnam Jin is getting Nano Monkeyed. They use Trance, and EQO dies to a BQB rocket. Chris, I believe, got naded, so he dies through the Trance. But this is pretty good for Philly. They lose this fight. They use their Nano. They use their Pulse, and I believe that's it. And they should get a second fight, okay, on first. And they forced out Primal, Visor, which is like as an ultimate, and Trance. But Trance and Primal being gone is really big. So this is actually a winnable retake here for Philly. The only awkward thing is they want to rally on point, but they want to give Alarm high ground. So it's just a little bit of an awkward retake. Hopefully they should be able to be back in time, I think. Carpe is still behind, fighting Yaki. He should lose this duel because Yaki just has more help and resources. Okay, so they do rally on point. Alarm does play on low ground just because he needs to be safe. He needs to rally. EQO fucking around on high ground. Where's Fury? Oh, okay, Fury's just on point. So Fury's discorded on point. Gargoyle with a good bomb to make space, stall for time. Fury bomb also gets forced. It's really weird that he gets booped all the way back. Oh my god, but Yaki kills Alarm. So he's forcing Carpe out. The instant he's getting his recall back, he just goes in like a maniac. Wow. Wow. All of a sudden the heals are so low. You don't have enough damage to kill backline. Sato has to try and make a play. He gets onto Gangnam Jin. Gangnam Jin is actually getting kind of low here, but the Brig's just going to keep him alive. That's just a hero play from Yaki. Without that, this fight looks good. Yeah, I agree. It was so winnable for you guys. That's... oof. And they cap in OT. They also get the they do get a late-ass stagger kill on Sato. That means that they do not have the misfortune of having to push through these chokes at the start. So even though they only have 2 minutes on second, they are only going to have to win one fight. They get their Zen onto high ground. Oh, but he gets his trance forced. EQO dies for the trance, which is not a terrible trade. EQO is going to be back in time for this fight, but Carpe gets a huge pick. That's actually so good. Trance is down and the Brig is dead. So now you can actually dive the Zen if you can get to him. The problem is EQO is already dead, so he can't dive the backline. And Sato dies. How does Sato die, dude? So the trance is happening. Sato backs out. He's alive. Good shit. He goes bottom left. Not bad. Sees the enemy monkey jump. He should jump on the monkey. 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 He jumps on the monkey. Oh, he drops. Oh no. He drops while he's discorded. Oh no. And Fury takes a shitload of damage from that pulse. Oof. Yeah, I guess he thought Alarm was going to be able to stay there and keep pocketing him or something. I don't know. But that was kind of a feed from Sato. Like, jumping on the monkey to stop him from being able to engage is good. Putting the bubble here is good. And then you just, like, back up. If you're taking too much damage after you jump the monkey, you're trying to walk out. If he's, like, body blocking you, your Discord or whatever, you just drop the bubble. And then you back up. Dropping onto point is really bad, I think. Really bad. So now EQO's on Ashe. Use Nano and swap. If you're going to play Ashe, play the Zenyatta. Okay, we got a flank coming from Sato. Fury is already going to die, though. Super low. The Nano Monkey comes out, but solo Nano Monkey is not going to kill shit. He needs help. The Alarm is the help needed. Of course he is. Rally also comes out. So 4 ults there for Rally. That's really bad. That's just over ulting. There's not really much else to it. Watch Carpe POV here? Okay. Okay, Yaki has orb. He gets armor and says, we'll fight. He gets orb again. Carpe backs off. Oh my god. Oh. Oh. Does he keep doing it to him? He's discorded. He gets the pack. He knows the right click's coming. The right click got used. He pushes in. Trance gets popped. Yaki even wrote in chat, like, what the fuck you go to? Yeah, that was a crazy play. That one clip was insane. So, Gangnam Jin trances aggro. They use Primal for sustain afterwards. Fury is discorded. Just getting focused. Nano Monkey just dies instantly because he's discorded. Rally is OP. That's the dub. Damn. So, in this series as a whole, I like doing this when I can see the scoreboard so I can see the rosters. In this series as a whole, I felt that I think you guys could have gotten away with never playing the double shield, except maybe on Hanamura. Maybe on Hanamura you do need to play it, or just play the Sombra Ana version of the dive. Maybe that can work, but I think on all the other maps, you can get away with not playing double shield. You can play dive, or on the Koth maps, you can play rush. I think rush is still better on some of the Koth maps, like the really small ones, because a high tempo is just so OP in Koth, but I think you just can't play Tracer in those comps like you did in Busan. I think the Tracer is not good. And I think maybe Ana is really good against that comp, so when you play like a rush comp with Reaper or McCree, I think you can play with Ana in that comp. It's really good. Because Moira doesn't do that much against the Brig BAP. Like, the Cole is never really going to kill anything. They have way too much sustain. But Purple can, like, force drone, and Nano can pressure a lot of stuff. So Ana's probably better. So I feel like leaning into dive is fine, but I think Fusion either needed to play Sombra in their dive or play Zen more in their dive. I felt like versus Florida's double shield stuff, it felt like, again, you lost Busan just from playing like the Tracer Rush was a little awkward. The second map, Blizzard World, you guys were able to win playing the Ana dive. I felt like both teams made some weird mistakes on defense, but it wasn't that big a deal. You guys just won out in the end on having like really good fights on third, both in attack and defense. On Hanamura, we talked about on first point, you guys kind of threw by doing that 3-3 split. I think the rush comp is fine in defense there. I think it might even be the best comp in defense there. The like Ashe, May, Rush, I think is actually still really good in that map. I think the problem, though, is if your lineup, when you play that lineup, it forces you to play a Rhine comp. That means you're forced to play a Rhine comp in attack, which was just really hard into what they were playing. And then on Jib, I think you just should have, like, perma-zenned. Obviously, you guys felt more practiced on Ana, and Alarm is really good at Ana. He hits crazy sleeps. And crazy nades, like, regularly. I don't know if it forces us to do anything, just specialized. Yeah, so if you guys didn't feel forced to play rush in attack, I don't think attack rush would probably be the play for me. Or if you did do it, maybe using Widow would be easier. Oh, it looks like we got some new follows. Ship, Gummy, and Micro with the follows. Thank you guys. I do appreciate it. So yeah, but I don't think that was that big an issue. I think really this was the only map that I felt, well, this and Busan, I felt like there were compositional issues. Obviously the Zen or Sombra would help a lot versus the not having Tracer in Busan, but it really came down to such small stuff, right? Like Blizzard World was both teams making like small positional mistakes one way or the other, and you guys just punished those harder than Mayhem did. And, like, Hanamura was also just really small, like, super small things. Like, you guys got split on that first point defense. You ended up full holding second on your attack. They just clutched up, and you guys made some small mistakes, like Sato taking too much damage the first time you did the rotation. So you guys had to use Heal Amp, which is just an auto lose. BQB having that late fight clutch was really big. Not getting as much wall value as you needed, like getting walls where instead of walling the Orisa off, it walls the Orisa up. Like just really, really small micro stuff. So this was a pretty good series, but I felt like the biggest thing was the two things that Mayhem brought to the table, which was the Brig Armor Tracer Pocket. On this map, you guys obviously matched it, playing dive for most of the map, so it wasn't a big deal. But on the other maps, I felt that you guys did not have a good answer to the Brig Armor Tracer. And then definitely in this map, I felt that you guys did not have an answer to the Zen. Like, when you guys are losing fights, it feels like it's always because the tanks are not ready for how much damage they're about to take from a Discord. Like, they are not prepared for how much that shit's gonna do and how they need, like, they have to like hide a lot more, I feel like, in this matchup, but they were just not playing around it as well as I think they should. But yeah, this is a pretty close match, and the fact that it's such small differences that determine it make me feel like Florida will be able to keep performing at the level they have been for like the last month. Like, they've been playing really, really well. Obviously, they've had like easy matches in the regular season matches, but they've looked super clean, and I felt like they've been playing really well on scrims. And Chris, I know we talked at the beginning of last week, and I was saying that I felt that Florida was a top 3 team, like you, them, and Shock were like the top 3. And I feel like that's the case still. But this definitely makes me feel like they can be more consistently at that top level, and that I expect them to stay there, which is really good to see. I like there being more like really top teams at a high level, right? And whatever, I'm from Florida. I was a Florida fan at the beginning of Overwatch League. I'm glad that Florida has finally turned things around. They've got some good players. I've always been a fan of Yaki. Even back on his MVP days, I always thought he was super good. So I'm really happy to see how Mayhem's doing. Yeah. And I think it is weird. I think that a lot of the Rush teams did get punished. Like I think we won when we played Rush, I think. Or no, maybe we lost Hanamura too when we played Rush on Hanamura. So maybe Rush is not the play in that map. But like, I think you and Valiant played run comps the most, and then we probably played it the third most, like percentage-wise. Obviously, minutes-wise, we were low because we only played one series. Shock played it sometimes, but it really felt like Rush was not winning against a lot of these comps. So, oh yeah, Paris. Paris definitely played it a lot and just lost weirdly against Valiant in a lot of fights. But yeah, it felt like Rush was not the dominant strategy in any of the matches that got played. It doesn't feel like Rush was like the really strong strat or the strat that was beating everyone. And I don't know if that's because it's been nerfed. I don't know if that's because Echo came out. I don't know if it's because over the last month, people haven't been playing very much Rush. Most people have been playing Dive and Double Shield for like almost like 6 weeks, it feels like, for a while. Those have been the dominant strats. So I don't know if that's why Rush feels like it's not quite as good, but it definitely feels like it's not the dominant, like, one-size-fits-all baseline of a comp, like with Rhine and Lucio and May, and then swap the DPS depending on the matchup and the map, swap the off-tank depending on the matchup and the map, swap the flex support depending on the matchup and the map. It feels like that's not necessarily the best core for a comp anymore. So I'm really interested to see when hero pools come back and we start playing again, how the meta continues to develop, and what ends up being really dominant. Because I think we still don't have a good handle on how Echo impacts the game yet, I think. But yeah, this was actually a really interesting watch. I'm gonna I'm going to be real with you, Chris. I feel like Gargoyle played better than both your off tanks in this series. I really feel that way. I feel like Gargoyle played super, super well. That actually might be the biggest difference. Like, I think Alarm is better than Gangnam Jin watching the series. I think Alarm had actually insane value, but I think Gangnam Jin also played really well. I think Chris is very, very, very comfortable on Brig, but Astro was not making a bunch of mistakes. I think he played well in general. Sato, I think, played really well. I think sometimes he got overly punished by the Zen, but I think he played well in general. Carpe, obviously really good outside of the weird Tracer picks on Busan. I think he played well. EQO, when he was in and when he was playing Echo, was really good. Ivy maybe could have gotten more wall value, could have gotten like a couple better blizzards, but didn't play bad on May at all. And I felt like when you look at Carpe versus Yaki, like I felt like Carpe probably played a little bit better. And BQB versus EQO, I felt like it's pretty much a wash. Like maybe BQB did a little bit better, but I felt like this is where the big difference was, I think. I felt like Gargoyle was making very, very few mistakes. I don't think I feel like he didn't cost Mayhem any fights. He didn't make any mistakes. Their tank line in general just almost never fucked up. They did, except for when I was getting mad at Fate for not setting up fights, like at the beginning of this map. But other than that, it felt like their front line was not really making mistakes. And it felt like Fury and Poco, there were a few times where they were donating Tifa Mechs and it lost you guys some fights. But yeah. Okay, guys. That's it for my review. Thank you for checking it out.